Another question is, Uganda enjoyed a strong and stable economy in the years approaching independence. And during the post-independence decade of 1962 to 1971, the Ugandan economy was one of the most promising economies in the sub-Saharan Africa. And they want you to discuss any 5 features that characterize the Ugandan economy in that period. So they want us to give the features of the Ugandan economy in the post-independence decade of 1962 and 1971. What happened in that period after we had just gotten independence? Yeah, so these are the characteristics of the economy in the post-independence decade. First is average annual real GDP growth of 6% per annum. Annual real GDP grew by 6% per annum. Then a real GDP per capita growth rate of 3% per annum. There was economic growth averaged 4.5 a year. Then there was a sound fiscal and monetary policies in leading to a stable macroeconomy. So the government expenditure and the government revenue were sound, or they were stable or good. And then the money demand and supply was also good, leading to a stable macroeconomy. Then there were stable prices whereby inflation never exceeded a single digit. A single digit, they mean below 10. Yeah. Then the balance of payment was in surplus, meaning that we were earning more from exports compared to what we were spending on imports. Then stable exchange rate and foreign exchange readily available. Yeah, our exchange rate was stable. It was not over fluctuating. Then the national saving rate was among the highest in the region. People learned how to save, whereby it increased to 14.7% of GDP. It was contributing 14.7% of GDP. Then the exports of goods and services accounted for 25% of GDP. And these are the characteristics of the Ugandan economy in the post-independence decade. Then we go to another question. They asked, why did the Ugandan economy collapse in the 1970s? Explain 8 reasons. So we had a stable economy in the post-independence decade of 1962 up to 1971 until when Amin came to power. Yeah, so they want us to explain why the economy collapsed. The economy collapsed. First is that it all started with Amin's 1972 economic war. Yeah, so the first reason is Amin's 1972 economic war, whereby Amin chased Asians. Yeah, he accused them of some offenses like being disloyal to the country, they were evading taxes, they were employing family members, and very many other things. They were dominating the trade of Uganda, so he had to chase them. And everything started with economic war. So in 1972, Amin's economic war led to the collapse of the economy, because when he chased them, he gave out the businesses of the Indians to the local people who never had skills in business management. So the business ended up collapsing, which in turn led to the collapse of the economy. Then there was gross mismanagement of the Ugandan economy by Amin's henchmen and hangers on. So the people that were handling the economy in Amin's time, after he had chased agents, they were unskilled and they misled him. So there was gross mismanagement of the economy, which in turn led to the collapse of the economy. Another reason is skilled managers were replaced by largely unskilled people. When they chased the Asians who were skilled, they gave the businesses to the Ugandans who were unskilled. The economy obviously had to collapse. Another reason is introduction of economic distortions like price controls, high import tariffs, excessive printing of money, and then fixed exchange rate. In Amin's time, he used to set things. He used to set prices, the exchange rate and everything, the interest rate, everything. So they led to economic distortions. Because if you set, for example, a maximum price, the demand will increase but the supply will reduce. Yeah, so it will lead to economic distortions in the economy. Then physical indiscipline. Amin was spending too much on unproductive sectors, for example, the army, and he forgot the productive sectors. Then there was collapse of the formal sector, which led to drastic reduction in government tax base. When Indians left the country, even the formal sector also collapsed because the people who remained, they were informal people. They never had skills, they had never gone to school. So there was collapse of the informal sector, which led to reduction in the government tax base. And then a drastic fall in foreign direct investment. When the Indians left the country, it also scared other foreigners from coming to invest in our country. So there was a fall in FDI, which in turn had to lead to the collapse of the economy. And the last one is escalating foreign and domestic debt, whereby he overborrowed money both domestically and internationally. So Uganda had a lot of debt and the economy had to collapse. Yes, so those are some of the reasons as to why the Ugandan economy collapsed in the 1970s. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Tap on the thank you button down there. It is in a heart form. Yeah, and thank Lanish Academy in any way that you would love to.